Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, Wootini over at gaygamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast. You may recall, if you watched last week's podcast, where I revealed that I bought an Xbox One and had been playing Dance Central Spotlight for review and loving it, but not so much the actual Xbox, because I found the menus to be not the best layout, and they weren't particularly intuitive, and it was hard for me to figure out how to do simple things that I knew how to do on my 360. I could not seem to figure out how to do them easily on my Xbox One. I have gotten used to it, but let's just say things got a lot worse before they got better. Because basically, I had an early review code of Dance Central Spotlight, and so that was good because it gave me a week to get through all the routines and everything and really work on a review. But the day that it came out, on Tuesday, it actually came out Monday night, it came out a little early. So Tuesday morning, before work, I went to play some more Dance Central, figuring I'll do a little workout routine, no problem. And I went to play the game, and it was like, hi, welcome to Dance Central, let's do this introductory routine so that you can, learn how Dance Central works. And I'm like, wait, I've been playing it for a week, what the hell's going on? And I discovered that my game save had disappeared. And again, navigating the menus was a pain in the butt because I couldn't figure out. I knew how to do it on the 360, how to go into the system files and see, and there's my game save, okay fine, last used, this date, whatever. But on the Xbox One, I couldn't figure out how to find my game save. And, I restarted the game, it still wasn't there. I turned off my Xbox and turned it back on again, still wasn't there. I'm freaking out, I don't know what to do. And so, when I got home from work that night, I actually contacted Microsoft customer service. I decided to go with the chat rather than the phone, because the chat only had a 1-minute wait and the phone had an 8-minute wait. And so I went with the chat, which, whatever, it's all those little canned phrases, and they're all like, hi, welcome for contacting Microsoft Services, blah, 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 well, let me see how I can help you, I really want to help you, and all those canned phrases, and it's just ridiculous. And he basically just had me, reset my Xbox, and then it loaded the game, and then it, loaded the game, and then, synced the data with the cloud, because you're supposed to have your game saved in the cloud. And so in my mind, Tuesday morning, I had no game, I had no save, but Monday evening when I played it, there was a game save, and so if they could just restore that game save from the cloud onto my Xbox, but there's no way to just do that from your Xbox One. You can't download saves from the cloud. I figured out how to find the save once there was a save, and I could delete the save, but I couldn't replace the save with something from the cloud from an earlier day. That didn't work. And I thought about calling Microsoft to find out, if I could actually have a conversation with a person, but then I was like, you know what, trying to explain to them how I want them to reinstall a save from 2 days ago is just probably not going to work. And he said, alright, well, we've reset it, it synced the data, give it 24 to 48 hours before, to see if it'll sync your save. And I'm like, okay, fine. So, the next morning, Wednesday morning, I said, I'm going to play Xbox Fitness to see that's all about. Because, I like my fitness games. And, because I tried Dance Central, and again, it was trying to get me to do the introductory stuff, and I said, okay, there's still no game save here. So, I'll give it another day. So I tried Xbox Fitness, entered in my information, picked a routine, the routine comes up, I can see myself, from the Kinect camera, there's a little white me in the corner, there's the little, scores and stuff, but the little box where the video is supposed to be is blank, it's just black. I could hear the person saying, now step left and step right, and what to do, but I can't see anything, the little fitness video wasn't streaming, just the sound. And I was like, God damn it. So I tried 3 or 4 other routines. None of them worked. The video was just not working at all. And I'm just like, ugh. So I was just furious with my Xbox at that point. And then during the day, I found out from someone at Harmonix that apparently there were some problems because the earlier version of the game that the review copies, were downloaded were like a different build of the game, so that on launch day it like replaced those builds with the current actual launch build, and that might have been what screwed up my save game and basically having to start me all over. So I basically came home Wednesday night and I tried Xbox Fitness again, and this time the video came up, so I'm like, okay, fine. And it's funny because I know Xbox Fitness is free if you are an Xbox Live Gold member, but I think after the new year they're going to charge for it, and I'm just like, dude, if you're going to charge for this service, I mean, I've only tried it twice, and it only worked the one time, but like, if you're going to charge for a service, you need to make sure that that works, because if I was paying for it and I got nothing but black screen with sound and no video, I'd be pissed. That's not worth that any kind of money. But I also basically decided to go into my system, delete Dance Central, and re-download it, and start from scratch, because I want the right version of the game that's the current version of the game. I didn't want any more surprises. So I just basically started over. And it's fine, because I do love Dance Central, so I don't mind starting over again. Plus, now that all the new songs are there, so I was able to download a few of the new songs that I want, like TLC and Erasure and stuff like that, It's fun. So, now I have some songs that I really want to play. I still haven't been able to re-download the Lady Gaga songs that I had as DLC on my 360. Those are still showing a charge if I try to download them, so I won't be downloading them until they're free, because they're supposed to be free, but they're having some kind of issues. They're having all kinds of launch issues. But the game is still super fun, and I don't actually mind starting over from scratch and unlocking all of the routines again, because it's fun, and it's a good workout, and that's all that really matters to me, so whatever. In other Xbox One news, this past week, I started to consider Destiny, which was never really on my radar because it's a, first-person shooter from the guys who did Halo, but Bungie is doing this as like an MMO first-person shooter. And I'm like, ugh, because I've always wanted to try an MMO, but I never have, because I just don't feel like I'm going to be good at multiplayer gaming. So I'm like really tempted to get Destiny, but I'm afraid that I won't be very good at it, and like no one will want to play with me. They won't want to take me on missions with them because I'll be a lower level with them and I won't be as good as they are. And that's could get really frustrating, and I know there's a single player game that I can play through, but I was never really that into Halo. I never found the story in Halo compelling, so I'm concerned about this one. But, I mean, it looks so cool, and I'm just like, I want to do it, but I don't want to get sucked in by the hype and then buy a game that I will ultimately be disappointed in. So, I haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to wait and see. I know some friends who are getting it, and I'm going to wait and see what they say. But I don't want to wait too long, because it's not like I don't want to say, oh, well, I'll just ask for it for Christmas or something, and then I won't have paid for it. That way, if I don't like it, it's okay. Because by the time Christmas rolls around, everybody will have already been playing it for months and months and months, and they'll all be, super high levels, and I'll be coming in as a nobody, and then nobody will really want to play with me because I won't even be close to them. And that's no good. So, I'm still on the fence. I'm waiting to see what people say about it. They'll watch, you'll come back next week, and I'll have already bought it and been playing it. But, because that's me and my willpower, I have none, so we'll see. But in other news, I have been enjoying Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright on the 3DS. It's a weird little game. It's interesting how the art styles sort of merge and don't merge at the same time, because you have, like, Layton looks all weird and cartoony, like, everybody's all cartoony, but, like, Layton has this very simplistic-looking face versus Phoenix Wright's, you know, anime face, and, like, you know, it's all just sort of weird. But they're meeting together in this weird anime fantasy universe, and again, it's, you know, it's like you walk around and do puzzles, and then there's a trial where you do the Phoenix Wright stuff, and then you walk around and do more puzzles, and then there's another trial, and it seems to alternate and stuff. So the gameplay merges a lot better than I thought it would. And it's, of course, full of the same bizarre, quirky humor that you expect from both of these series. I mean, that's the thing, is that they're different series, but spiritually they're kind of similar. They have the same feel, you know, and the same kind of weird sense of humor. So that merged really well. So that's there. And it's also funny because you're in this weird, like, fantasy realm, and, you know, there's, like, a witch trial. No spoilers, but basically the trial is not... Like, in the Phoenix Wright games, the trials don't work the way that real-world trials do, because it's a video game. So it's kind of ridiculous and out there, and strange things happen, and it's all good, because it's a video game. But it's even funnier because here, you're in this fantasy world, and it's a witch trial, so there's really no rules, and the people there have never even heard of logic, and you're trying to prove these points to them, and they're like, but she's a witch, and she did magic things, and it's like, but no! So it's completely insane, and it's quite delightful. And I'm sure that by the end of the game we'll have revealed that there is no such thing as magic, and that it's some kind of giant clockwork rabbit living underground that's manipulating all these giant robot puppet things or something, because that's how the Professor Layton games always go. There's never real magic. It's some kind of weird science fantasy thing. But I still love these games, and this is a really good one. So if you're a fan of the series, I definitely recommend checking it out, because... it's terrific fun. Even if some of the voice acting seems a little bit odd. I'm not sure if it's a different actor or if they're just playing it differently, but some of the voice acting is throwing me a little bit. But it's always nice to have another adventure with Professor Layton and also with Phoenix Wright. So I'm enjoying that, and I recommend it. And I will let you go now. Hopefully next week I will not have any more ranting to rant about on my Xbox One. And I may or may not have started playing Destiny. To be continued! Tune in next week and find out if my willpower is strong. Bye!